Hello and welcome to Tuesday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. First tonight, as temperatures continue to soar across the West Country, lifeguards are warning beachgoers to ensure that they only swim in designated safe areas and are aware of the conditions.
Well, it comes after a 6-year-old... That was Claire Manning there at Crantock Beach, and as we saw, the sun was shining there, and the Met Office in Exeter has issued a health warning as parts of the West Country experience their hottest temperatures of the year.
Well, the elderly and vulnerable are, of course, being warned to take care in the heat, whilst high UV levels mean everyone is being advised to wear sunscreen and, where possible, to stay in the shade. Jackie Bird has this report.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined by Dr Toyin Ejiduku, who's from Public Health England. You're a consultant here in the South West. So the Met Office has issued that heat warning for this heat wave that we're having. How seriously should we be taking that?
I think we should be taking it very serious.
We need to cover up and not be out in the midday sun and things like that, keep hydrated. But is there anything else that we should really be doing when it's this hot? We're not used to it here, are we?
I think it's important to
Some people, for example, builders or gardeners who have no choice but to be outside in those really hot times of the day. Any advice to them?
I think it's important for them to try and make...
Well, the hot weather has also been causing disruption on the region's roads and railways today. A court case
has also warned train travellers that journey times will increase in the coming days, as Ellie Barker now explains. That was Ellie Barker with that report there. Well, the hot weather has certainly brought out the crowds for Ladies' Day at Newton Abbot Racecourse. This evening's racing got underway just a few minutes ago.
Let's cross there live now, speak to Kate Haskell and get all the latest on the weather forecast as well. Kate, what odds on this hot weather continuing then?
Thank you very much indeed.
Now you are watching ITV News here in the West Country this Tuesday evening. Thanks very much for your company. Still ahead on the programme before 6:30.
And after us, the ITV News continues with the national and the international stories at 6:30. Charlene White has the details. But next on our programme, let's take a look at some other news from across the region now. And thousands of pounds worth of drugs have been found by a Devon and Cornwall police sniffer dog that is...
Tributes have been paid to a teenage rugby player from Tavistock who died after taking an unknown substance. The body of
12 fire engines were called to a fire at an empty commercial garage in Torquay last night.
Now, almost a third of teachers here in the West Country say that they are having to give children personal care items, such as soap and toothpaste, at least once a week.
Increasing cases of what's become known as hygiene poverty are being reported, with parents admitting they can't afford to buy cleaning products. Kevin Ashford has this report.
Now, experts from Exeter University are calling for the return of woodland management to help boost the numbers of dormice, which have plummeted over the last century.
Well, pairs of dormice are being reintroduced back into forests across the country, and it's hoped planting more tree species such as hazel and yew will help. Melissa Wright has this report. Now, this has to be a dream come true for most 16-year-olds, performing live in front of thousands of people with your favourite band.
And that's exactly what happened to Ellie Pollock from Ipplepen near Newton Abbot. She was called on stage by the Brit Award-winning band The Killers during their sellout concert in Cardiff. Richard Lawrence went to meet her. Wow, yeah, and she can play as well. That's pretty neat, isn't it?
Good for her.
Well done, Ellie.
Yeah, well done, Ellie.
Now, zookeepers across the region have been reaching for the lollipops this week as the mercury rises. Not for them, though. A few months ago, snow, of course, lying on the ground, but the animals are now having to cope with a mini heat wave.
Yep, David Woodland has been to see how they're coping at the Tropiquaria in West Somerset. Know how they feel. Well, staying with the animal theme, 2 new arrivals have been making their first public appearances at Newquay Zoo.
Let's go and get you the latest weather forecast now. Kate is still enjoying the sunshine at Newton Abbot Racecourse there. Kate, it is beautiful there, and it's going to continue as well, isn't it?
Number 6, Buck Bravo is next.
Oh, I thought you were...
Kate in a very lovely looking hat at Newton Abbot. Thanks very much indeed. Now, before we go, let's remind you of the main headlines here in the West Country this evening. And a 6-year-old boy and his 12...
That's it from us this evening. I'll be back with the late news at the usual time of 10:30.
Now, they will hand you to Charlene White as the ITV News continues. Enjoy the sunshine. Stay cool if you can.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.